Hi Gemini, and welcome to your pandemic edition. So let's see what is in the store this month for you. It's very difficult to do these readings because sure, we all have our own issues that are underlying, but with everything being quote unquote frozen, certain internal issues that we really kind of experience is kind of like more coming forward. So let's see what we can see this month. Also, I'm trying to hopefully in the next week set up the kind of like fire chat where we can just sit and talk, not so much tarot, but hey, how you're doing, what we can do, just kind of get together, maybe some meditations. And if you're not a subscriber and this is appealing to you, you just need somewhere to kind of like get things out, that's I suggest subscribe, because I will send a notification via my community page. So you have a Fire Queen reversed, and the very first major is Good Kitty reversed, the Judgment reversed. So it sounds to me that maybe you have somebody dominating your life at this stage, and it could be simply that it's somebody from the past, somebody telling you how to live your life. This also talks about you trying to reach out, you're trying to do things, but the other side is feeling a little bit, I would say, either protective or maybe even exhibiting animosity toward you. So let's see what else do we see. I have Ace of Sky. This is really good. It's one of the karma cards. It shows about victory. It shows a truth. So this is really important here to kind of like get this one. Then we have reversed Four of Fire. So Four of Fire is about this gathering where you want to bring other people together to celebrate your things, to celebrate your cause, to celebrate who you are, how you're doing things, why you're doing things. So that's kind of like really what is important. Then we have the Eight of Fire. So Eight of Fire is, and I really love this card, like there is like these zoomies that the kitties have and doggos have, right? So I have to do it, I have to do it. This is the excess of the energy, and that doesn't really surprise me very much. We have two fires and we have the air, like you are bursting at the seams. This whole situation feels like repression for you. You really want to go out, you want to be out and about, you want to gather with people, you want to do things. This card, interestingly enough, it's about communication, and it could be communication from a distance. Of course, now in social distances, everything is about distance, and it could be actual love messages as well. So this is really your element, the words. I mean, my North Node is in Gemini. I kind of like really have to learn Gemini ways in this particular month. Yes, this particular month as well, but in this particular lifetime. So that is really important. And then you have the Empress in the past. So it was like nice and cushy and cozy place. Interestingly enough, here was that Fire Queen reverse, right? So since you have like these two faces in your sign, it could be that there's like this debate between the left and between the right, and kind of like there is like back and forth kind of going forward, because one side of you, and maybe you have this intention in the morning, well, I want to just have a nice and cozy day, I really want to kind of like be nurturing, I want to do that, and it ends up that somebody is really bitchy, it ends up that somebody is really overly demanding and drama queen, and it could be you going and swinging between these two extremes, because it's almost like you're being put in a pressure cooker, and it's like, I cannot take it anymore, and kind of like, kill me or let me out now. And there is like, again, I'm seeing that could be some kind of like verbal jousts that will be happening this month, especially if you're dealing with somebody who is younger than you. You might find that this person could be just saying things that are rude or inappropriate, or you're going to really start to wonder, or they will be telling you that you are that way, and hence, you know, your words are not landing and not finding a fertile ground, kind of a thing, right? So look at these two people are really at each other's throats, which is kind of weird, because I feel that both of these people actually really want good things for each other, especially if you guys dating a fire sign. Then it can be a little bit too much of combustive energy over here, and that's because you are like, just think about it, you're like, I mean, gas barrel in some kind of like shed. So this whole sun and everything is just a basic disaster waiting for happen. This whole suppression is basically, I'm not seeing Earth as of yet, and that is really needed, right? You really need to download all of these thoughts, everything that is really, really going on, in order not to be overly pressured. Hello, Sapphie. Do you love Gemini? How much? How much? I love you too. And then you have Two of Earth, and this is like immediately there's like juggling of things. Maybe there are lots of things up in the air. Maybe you're thinking about things that you need to do, how you need to do them, and so on and so forth. So this is really interesting. It is really showing up. So remember how I said we don't have the ground. So you're stepping back somehow to some extent, and you're saying, oh goodness, let me just get through it. I just hope I get through it, and I hope I kind of like end up like, I mean, with the sunshine on the other end. So what is in your house? Woo, you have the Eight of Sky. So this is the Eight of Swords. So what do we see over here? Look at this kitty. It's stuck. And the birds are coming, these bats. And she's terrified. I don't know how to get out. And so she's frantically trying to move left and right and this way. And as she's doing that, and it's a pretty Siamese kitty, and you know the Siamese kitties are extra level of smartness, right? So this is super smart, you know? So now, what is basically the remedy there? The remedy there is you need to relax, and you need to move actually slow, because slow moving is better going to tell you, engage you what you really need to do. Have you ever seen the cat trying to get out of things from the vet and how it's always constrained? This is now reversed. So maybe you have been in a situation where you felt constrained. You felt there's no way out of it, and anything that you did kind of like exploded in your face, right? So this also could mean that you're dealing with someone. So now we have like these two eights dealing, and this can be man or woman, this Fire Queen, because it's a general reading, that you're dealing with somebody who is now trapped. And this is kind of different explanation now during this pandemic, because trap simply means you're ordered to stay at home, and hence you cannot see each other. But this trap also can mean that somebody is in a situation that is more complicated than just quickly walking away from it, such as, you know, they might be married, they might be children, that kind of things, right? Because I also see extra people around here as well. So that feels that there are some other people who think they can add their 2 cents to the situation. So it's almost like feel like that your destiny is baked for you by the other people, and that really feels really bad. So let's see your environment. And in your environment you have Three of Fire. So this is now kind of mirroring to some extent this Empress, but she the Three of Fire is reversed. So somebody who you expect to do, I guess, a step toward you, or to kind of like make some kind of introduction, or just come through, it's somehow, you know, not really coming, or they're just speaking a lot about it and they're not doing it. And you're like air sign. Everything is really, really fast for air signs, right? So we are like flying with an airplane, while other people are flying with a freaking skateboard, car, or boat. Not that any transportation system is better than the others, but the airplane is the fastest, right? And so airplane and rocket. So let's say fire signs, maybe airplane, and we are the rocket. So the problem is, like, I mean, the rocket, like we don't have this like immense supplies of storage for our basically kerosene. So even though we travel the furthest and the fastest, we have to make the stops in order to replenish this. So there is like somebody also who feels that they are moving with the proper speed and everything else, but you are maybe needing to understand that you're actually moving much, much faster than the other people. That person here, and that's why you feel possible there is like this feeling of constraint. Like, look at this, like 8 and 3, this is kind of like 11. This is also karmic. I mean, mind you, you had karmic here, you had the good kitty, that's a karmic card, this is karmic, and now we have the hidden karmic card over here. So this is all telling me a story. There's like something, whenever something karmic, something on the outside happens. It's almost like holodeck, if you're a fan of Star Trek. You go there for a challenge, like this escape room. So there is like this escape room for you, and you're literally escaping from something, or you are trying to wiggle out of the situation that you've really found yourself in. So hopes and dreams is 6 of C, and this is like the proverbial, hey, you know, let me kind of like swim in this ocean of memories of the things that I really feel really connected to. This is rare for air signs, but nonetheless, when we are stuck like this and we are watching reruns of the shows that we watched before, or even if you watch the Tiger King kind of a thing, right, this is really telling me that you're like really trying to find a better way to organize yourself, to organize your time, to organize your vision, and that is really, really important for you. And this is leading us to 2 of Fire. Look at this, 3 of Fire, 2 of Fire. Staying in. This is like a really literal card. Like, should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? And we know it's a night, and we know that the kid is going to go and tap outside and see what is all about over there, being like, I mean, an animal of the night. But this is like, no, I don't think so. I think I'm staying in. So I really think it's almost like a few things that are brewing together, like they're thrown in a pot, like the social isolation, physical isolation. There's like somebody who is not moving with the speed that you want them to move with, and yet you need to kind of like figure out that all of that situation, all of these people who seem to be I guess bitchy, right, around you, so you're like a little bit shocked because these same people were very nurturing in the past, and all of a sudden you're seeing how maybe how they react under the pressure, and this is kind of like really surprise to you. And again, you have this higher altitude, you're seeing things differently than they do, and they're telling you, no, nothing wrong with me, I'm just doing everything fine. Like, what are you talking about? I'm seeing the freaking fire over there. And like, I mean, this is like what we discussed, why are we changing the course kind of a thing, right? So that's what I'm seeing. That's like, this is a lot of juggling. We are seeing it here, right? There is like this almost like the energy that is coming from the above that needs to be handled. So I would suggest to you guys, take it slow. Oh, that's a horrible advice for you. I know, it's like, oh my god, I cannot do it. I'm already hearing it. You need to get out of this stuckness. You need to get yourself out. By demanding that other people do what you want them to do, it's not the way out. You need to get yourself out. You need to allow yourself to wallow in pain or in memories, whatever this freaking is, if that's what you need to do. But first thing first is like, you really need to take care of something that is happening karmically. Right now, the other people are not going to jump when you say jump, but you can still be true to yourself, because there'll be lots of communication. There are like the 8s are here, the commitment is there. So try to not to break something that maybe to you appears broken, right? Look at this beautiful glass bowl. I have a whole bunch of those in my window, so sometimes we see this rainbow here on my table. Try not to break them. Just, you need to be patient. You need to be patient. So this is the karmic lesson for you this month. Can you be patient, my dear Gemini? You know that I love you, but this is going to be a toughie. So what else do you have? Of course you have trickery. Oh, freaking course. So what is the story about here? We have the dragon and we have the little kind of squirrel. The squirrel is a part of the contest, and she wants to win the contest, and she saw the dragon has this like beautiful big acorn, and the squirrel goes, if I have this one, I'm winning this contest hands down. But dragon needs this to survive the winter, right? For the hibernation. So squirrel goes, I'm going to trick you. I'm going to trick you. So she kind of like collects the stones and just like spreads on top of it a tiny little kind of like acorns. And she goes to dragon. She says, well, you know, why don't we trade? There's like much more here. Just like feel the weight. So the dragon feels the weight, and oh, it's actually more. It's probably better for me. And basically, they are trading the thing. The dragon realizes the cheat basically was a cheat. She has lost the acorn, and the squirrel loses the contest because of the cheating. So basically lose situation, right? So this is about talking about these trying times, and that things may be easier if you really ask for help. Maybe this is also what this is saying. Look, you need to reach out instead of being proactive or hyperactive. you need to ask for what you need. And it might not be given right away, but you have planted that seed, right? So don't be disappointed if assistance doesn't come immediately, or if it doesn't come from the place that you expected from. You also, and this is all about telling the truth, you need to tell the truth, right? Or it feels like somehow that you might be afraid that then the ball will drop and it's going to quote unquote cost you, right, in the end. So this is also about vulnerability, and this could be also a lesson that sometimes we say what we want and we are rejected. The lesson in that is like, if we can handle it. And then on the other end, you're proud of your own standing for yourself. You're proud about it, right? Because this is all about honesty. Because look at this, the greed hasn't been rewarded over here, right? But it's talking about you need to smart, not to be kind of like being taken for a sucker in the situation. So my dear Gemini, the month is going to be, as I said, looking at you. Ask for help if you need to, but don't expect it's going to come. Just learn to live in that basically space in between, and that space is now, and we all actually currently live in the now. So you need to learn how to step out of that speed and rocket. And sure, it would be really nice to be on a different planet and look at the earth and say, you deal with this freaking pandemic. I know, I get you, I'm an air sign as well. But patience is the lesson for this month. Ready, Gemini? I love you. I hope to hear from you in your comments. You can reach me for your reading at cattarot.ca. Check my website, or write to me at mysticcattarot@gmail.com. So guys, yes, if you're not a subscriber, and if you like what I hear, if you connect, please subscribe. But also, if you want to be part of that fireside chat where the friends can join in and we can figure out this whole pandemic, at least be friends, adopt a friend on a distance, as somebody suggested. Love you. Talk to you soon.